Smell it. Smell it.
What a torturous process. You're gonna get blinded, Ange.
This is why you need me.
Right, so remember the water came out of this hollow beam here. I'm going to spray some fish oil in there. I've drilled another couple more holes so I can get in a few areas, and we still have yet to seal this up a little bit better. Oh, it stinks. It's not deodorized. It says deodorized. Oh.
Are you joking?
Can you smell that? Oh, God.
Sorry, Lazer.
Smell that. Smell that. Smell that. Smell that. Smell it.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Oh, it's foul. Get a good whiff of it then. See, you won't. You know it's bad. It smells like rotten anchovies. It's disgusting.
Rotten anchovies.
Can't believe they had the audacity to say it's deodorized. I'd hate that now.
Can you imagine the real one?
I'd rather not, hey. I prefer rust.
Alright, so on last week's episode we completed the locks, night stem to put the seals. So what is your process?
So I cut the seals at a rough 45-degree angle, is the best I can do. And then I glue them with this Loctite super glue called Power Flex. It seems pretty good because it has like some, you can move it and it still sticks.
And this seal obviously is to prevent any dust or even any water to go into the garage that we'll have over there. So that's really important step.
Keep those together, and this actual seal came again from Styromax with the LT, and it works really well. It's like a D seal, and then boom.
So we are test fitting the hatch just to make sure we can lock them properly. So I'm just gonna get into the box to check what's going on and in the inside. Oh, what is going on? Go down? Okay, let me have a look. Yeah, it doesn't go all the way down, so you'll have to trim it a bit.
Kind of fun. Do you want to do one?
Yeah.
Do you want to do these three?
Okay. I'll swap with you.
Yep. You see me do it. And then just push down.
Here?
Yeah. And then pump. You don't have to pump real hard. Push down. Yeah, push. Keep pushing down, yeah. And down one more, and now pull it away. That's it.
Boom.
And then drop the thing out by letting it go. That's it. Nice.
I can add that to my resume now.
Riveter. Riveting. Alright. It's good that thing, hey?
I love it.
Another one of Clint's awesome tools, thank you. We will see you at the truck. easy.
Alright, so hatch problem number one, we realized that having the seal on the actual hatch and maybe not instead on the inside, it's probably not the best because when you close it here, it's just damaged the seal quite badly. So that's definitely not ideal. So we're potentially gonna have to redo the seals. Problem number two, which is worse, this hatch actually doesn't fit. It's really close, but at the same time, really off. So what we realized is that the hinge that we bought here was probably too thick. We didn't leave like a big enough gap. I think when we looked online and tried to find like a solution, they were advising around like 3mm gap. I think we gave a little bit more just to be safe, but we calculated that the entire diameter plus the two sides of the hinge is around 6mm. So obviously we are way off. So that's where we're at. Obviously Chris is really disappointed. I'm really disappointed. We spent a lot of time doing these hatches and we really wanted to complete them. So that's quite hard. So we're trying to think about solutions and a plan B. Again, so we're on Styromax website. We're thinking about going maybe with this option instead, like a smaller marine hinge. So this is what it looks like for a hatch. So it still looks pretty good. Potentially have to do that as well with the door. We'll probably just think about it, have a coffee and decide in coming hours. But yeah, definitely no ideal. So I think personally it's quite important to show as well on YouTube what doesn't work, what are disappointment and as well our failures, even though it's really heartbreaking when you spend so much time and then it doesn't work. That's a big step back, but I'm gonna try to cheer up Chris and help him as much as I can to fix it. I know it's not unfixable. Chris is just trying to remove now the hinge.
I hate it. Rivets.
He hates rivets. I liked them before, but now I don't like them. I'm gonna make you coffee.
Who would make an expedition truck, eh?
What a torturous process.
Maybe instead like of doing a truck, maybe we should make a YouTube channel about coffee.
We can just review coffees.
We can review coffees. What do you think? Let us know. We'll love to.
So rather make a truck.
That's good. Alright, update. Chris is redoing the seals. We still had some spare, which was for the door, and just ordered some more from Styromax. This time on the inside, which hopefully would help closing the hatch once we get on new hinges. So we pull the trigger and we'll order those new ones from Styromax and hopefully receive them very soon to complete this project and never look back. All right, new update. We have actually decided to give up on the fiberglass hatch. We went to Bunnings and got this very heavy duty green plastic hatch. I think it suits really well the mug. What do you think? I think it's perfect. What do you
I agree.
Well, no, it's just temporary. It's gonna rain again tomorrow, so we need to put something. Anyway, we're gonna stop talking about the hatch for now and move on to the next project. So I'm gonna degrease the entire beam, make sure all the dirt and all that rusty water is out, and I'm gonna seal those rivets. All right, the beam is degreased. Now it's time to seal.
Alright, so long day in the shed already, building a little box for some switches, which I'll show at a later date. That'll be in the console of the MOG. But something we've been pretty tight-lipped about for quite a while now, but we're super excited about, we just haven't been at the stage to work on it, is our lighting setup that will be all over the MOG, literally lighting the night up. So we have teamed up with a company called Lazer lamps, and they are a fully British company, so designed and manufactured in Britain to incredibly high standards, and they have a background in rally car driving at a professional level and these big commercial trucks that are ripping around on the highways over in Europe. So Lazer lamps have now come to Australia and they're breaking into the market here, but the quality of their stuff is second to none. It's incredible. So we're running a bunch of their different lights all over the MOG. The main one being a big Mac Daddy light bar, which will be over the top of the MOG. Now that's something we can't work on yet, because I need to build a roof rack for that and some bar work, so that's going to be a little bit later on. But I can show you 3 of the lights we will be running, and I'm going to be installing those over the next day or 2, depending on the weather. Alright, now we'll be running quite a few of these lights all around the MOG, mainly as camp lighting, so we can really light up the area when we need to, and that is the Utility 25 LED work lamp. So that's this guy here. So we'll have a bunch of those. I'll be installing a couple and a pretty cool place that I'm going to start working on a bit of a mount for over the next couple of days. I've set up a little test bank to kind of give you a rough idea of just how bright these things are. I've got the old 12 volt battery out of the MOG, the one that still has a little green light in it. So we've got a little bit of juice there, run it up from Crocodile Clips, Anderson. It's all very basic here in the shed. All right, so we're gonna have a bunch of these. So probably a bit hard to see in the GoPro, and it's not pitch black here, but just rest assured these things are wicked. Fully waterproof, polycarbonate lens, really good little version of a work light. All right, moving on. So now we have got the heavy duty work lamp. Now this guy is sick. It looks so good. Nice and heavy, just the construction of it's wicked. This is going to be our reverse light. We only need one of them because this thing is so bright. So I will show you that now. I'm going to unhook my little highly sophisticated test bank that we've got going on here. Oosh, look at this. You guys remember that show MacGyver? Well, this is even better. All right, so that is the heavy duty work lamps. This thing's a weapon, it's so bright. That's going to be our reverse light. That's going to be super easy for me to wire up. Whereas the work lamps will be on a separate switch in the cab, which I'll go over at a later date as well. Then we've got 2 very exciting ones. So we'll have a pair of these. And they are the ST4 spotlight. So let me rig that up. Yeah, you're going to get blinded, Ange.
By the end of the test.
Yeah, look at that. All right. Now, main purpose of these, I'll turn that off because it's so bloody bright. Yeah. All right, so main purpose of these little ones, they're going to be in the front of the MOG, and they're going to assist as driving lights. So we're going to have the big spotlight on the top, and these ones creating a ton of fill as well. So I'll be able to rig those up really soon, and they're going to be incorporated into our winch plate. So that's why I've been waiting for ages to be able to install these, but it's exciting because we're finally getting there. And I've got a couple of amber like fog covers, so they're really good at cutting through not only fog but also dust as well. And you can just take them off, put them back on. I'll probably normally leave these on, I would say. Those will go right there. Yeah, so that's a brief intro into some of the cool lights we're going to be running on the MOG, and at a little bit of a later date I'll show you the weapon that is the big light bar, which is like the crowning achievement of lighting kind of thing. So yeah.
Wow.
How is it?
It's great. What do you think?
It's a little bit too far. I've aimed it that way.
Yes, I'm
a little bit too far that way. Because I was thinking drive out, so I'll be able to see better, but I've got a reverse camera, so I actually only need it coming straight out. It's really good. It's really good. All right, so another day in the shed. Yesterday it was raining on and off, so we kind of had our first day off from the MOG, which was Sunday. So it's Monday today. I'm about to, we've just kind of mocked up a position for these two front lights. So now I've got to drill 2 holes in the front of our winch plate, which I'm not looking forward to, because if I get that wrong, it's very much permanent. So yeah, so I'm going to drill those holes and then place these lights, and then show you guys after that.
All right, what do we have up here and what have you been working on today?
Lots of little things, lots of little time-consuming things today. First up, you saw the lights that I've chucked on the front winch plate. I'm also going to chuck these work lights on the corners, a little bit like we had on our Jeep, where they're just below the windscreen on each side, and they're going to face out into the bush, so that I get a really nice angle of light for, you know, nighttime driving and coming into camp. So they need to be mounted to something. So I've just cut these little brackets up out of some of the leftover alloy that we've got. I trimmed it everywhere, just ground down the edges a little bit. Super basic, but what I'm gonna do is, that's gonna be fastened below the windscreen, and this guy's gonna go on top there, pointing out and down a little bit, and then wire that all up. These are pretty basic. I'm not going to permanently mount them to the windscreen in case there's some issue I have down the track where I don't like them or whatever. So what I'll probably use is this stuff. I'm almost out of it, but it's this VHB tape. 3M does it, and it's that super strong tape that's quite rubbery and absorbs a lot of shock. It's the stuff you get on the bottom of your GoPro mounts. So I'm going to use that and stick that to it, and it should be absolutely fine. The very worst case, if it decided to let go on a track somewhere, the light would still be wired up, so it's not going to go very far. But I'll do that for now as kind of a temporary measure. And next thing is built this little box. So it's pretty bloody basic looking. Now it's a 4-gang switch panel. Those will light up when they're on. It's already pre-wired for me, so I just need to wire those all up. I just built it out of some more of that alloy that I had kind of lying around, cut that all to size and riveted it together, so that's all riveted on there. The switchboard we bought from Jaycar for about $60, I think it was, and rated for a decent amount of amperage, so that should be fine. This is the dashboard that goes below the windscreen. It's like really flimsy, doesn't really have much purpose. So this guy is going to go right there, and that's going to be, if I'm in the driver's seat, right in front of me to the right in a spot that's not really used much. Pretty simple and basic, and didn't cost much money at all to make. So that's kind of what I've been working on, waiting for paint to dry literally for part of the day, and yeah, just gradually starting to wire it all up now.
I've got a very important job. I'm gonna degrease the mug just before Chris put the light on.
Nails for this.
Do you need my nails?
Yep.
Swap a room. I'm under pressure.
Dun dun dun.
This is why you need me. Another cold morning at the shed.
Very cold morning. The two little ST4 lights at the front, they kind of run off, I guess it's kind of like a waterproof Deutsch connector kind of thing. So I'm going to make my own wiring loom for it and piggyback both the lights together, I guess. So I've just wired up one of them with some heat shrink and stuff, one of these to that. This is an old bit of wire that I had lying around that's definitely overrated, so that's good. So I'm going to splice this connector in here, and the other end, this trash, is going to go into a larger bit of cable that'll run all the way through into the truck dash. So it should be pretty easy. Yeah, but splicing connections is kind of new to me. I think I get the general gist using one of these bad boys here, thanks to Clint again. So, pretty sure I run that through like so. Give myself a little bit more room here. Interesting. Now I just want to spread the cable, like so. Look at that. So let's just pull the sheathing away a little bit. And then I'm going to dig a little hole in there and plug in that guy.
Me, while Chris is playing around with this cable over there, I'm doing a bit of admin, replying to emails. I'm trying to look into building a website, which is completely new to me. And as well, I'm on Patreon at the moment, where I put a little poll to ask our patron, what do they think? Do you want us to put back the old grill that we had when we got the mug? I took a photo yesterday. I'll just put it on the screen right now. At the moment, me, I don't want to keep it. Chris wants to put it back. What do you think? So far, the patron on my side.
Nah, I'm going to chuck it back on. It's badass. The Bushmaster.
So yeah, let us know. And just as well to clarify, one person mentioned it's good to obviously keep the bugs away, like it's covering the radiator. We already have kind of like a grill behind the bonnet. I guess that would add extra covering. But yeah, just to clarify, just so that I make my point as well. Team Ange.
Team Ange. I'm on Team Ange. I'm also on that grill.
Vote for me.
No, don't. Oh, that's, come on. That's not a fair vote. Everyone's going to vote for you because you're nicer than me.
Team Ange.
Alrighty, so yesterday finished wiring up the 4 lights. There's not a ton to show. Basically what I did is just made my own wiring looms. So these two I've spliced into one single cable, and that runs, it's tucked away nicely behind the headlight, runs up where the rest of the wiring is, up and through the engine bay, and then goes through the firewall, through that grommet, and along inside the dash to the driver's side. And the same thing for these 2 pod lights here. Obviously you saw the brackets yesterday. Wiring comes down and I've spliced them together in the middle, and then they run through the firewall again. So I'll show you what I've done with those. I still need to clean this wiring up, and I might paint this sandy taupe just to make it blend in a little bit better. And inside we have the little panel here. So I just need to put its little hat on, and I'm going to stick that down there, and we have power to auxiliary stuff, and then power to the main LED light bar, which isn't installed yet, but I've pre-wired it up to make things easier for me down the track. I've got my 2 pod lights, it's them on there, and I've got, sorry, the 2 at the front, and then I've got the 2 pod lights. Yeah, so that worked really well. And also thanks for all the feedback in that last video. I went out and bought myself a heavy duty crimper, just a hand powered one, but this will do the job. And I am going to go around and re-crimp all of those terminals, although I think they were okay, but You guys did not.
Don't start it.
But that's about as proficient as I am with electrical stuff at the moment, but I'll get better, I'm sure. So yeah, I'll recrimp some stuff there, and then I've got some more wiring to do today of a few bits and pieces.
Yes, as you can see, it's beautiful weather, so the coming days we'll get a lot of work done, but that will be for next week's episode.
Thank you so much for watching, guys, and yeah, please do keep up the comments because I do take it all on board, even though sometimes I'll get a bit pissy at night time when I'm like, damn it, I've just spent days doing this. But it's good. It actually really helps me because I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. I basically just spit into the wind and hope that it doesn't land on me. So yeah, cheers for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye-bye.